For those that doesn't know my husband yet, I want to introduce him to you quickly. Meet John, the helicopter pilot. He works away from home to feed the animals and I. And when he's back on the farm, he works very hard to do all the hard manly work that I can't do. Here he is rebuilding the road. Our road goes through a riverbed and it often washes away all the material he got from the riverbed. So here he's using big rocks for a base and then some medium stones on top of that. And then he used smaller gravel-like stones for the top. He built it strong enough so that he could drive the truck over it. A bit of an update on last week's video where I sowed some seeds in the tunnel. One guess what I planted here that the cat is rolling in? Yes, catnip. Everything that I show you where you can see anything green is not what I sowed last week. This is carnations and I sowed them a few months ago already. I definitely made the mistake that everybody says you should not make, and that is thinking you will remember what you sowed. At least I can recognize the basil. Everything that you see that has no green is what I sowed last week, the video that I made. So the seed packets is my way of marking now what I sowed. If I could sow more than one pot per seed packet, then I will put the seed packet on the first pot and the next pot or next few pots is from the same seed packet. I have a second area in front of my house that I'm busy developing in a mini food forest, but this area is covered in grass. The easiest way to deal with the grass is to cover it completely with cardboard. I even let the cardboard pieces overlap each other so that the grass doesn't get space to grow in between the pieces. If plants doesn't get sunlight, they die, and that is what I want. And the dead plant material gives nutrients back to the soil. Hello, my sweet friends. It's nice to be with you again. It's been a bit of a rough week. So I thought I'll share with you a bit of my week. Let's call it my vlogging week. I want to open my heart this week with you. I know I'm making myself very vulnerable and open to criticism if I do that, but I feel like sharing with you. First, what happened is I got a little bit of a panic this week. Tariel, you know, the carry girl, she always follows me around everywhere. But she goes and sleep during the day, somewhere on the veld, I don't even know where. So Sunday morning she was with me when I was in the tunnel and playing around me, and she's just always around, and then she disappeared, but I didn't even think anything of it, because she just thought she just went to go and sleep somewhere, and then she will appear in the afternoon again. Then she never appeared. So she didn't come in at night as well, and that was a bit strange. And then Monday night she came in, and I felt her sleeping against my leg, so automatically I touched her. But then she jumped off and she ran away. She looked so scared of me and so wild. I hope the wind's not bothering in the speaker. Sorry, it's a strange day today. But I want to talk to you today. Tuesday night she came in again. And then she slept the whole night in the house. Yay! I was happy about that. I thought, okay, she's back. Don't know what that was, but she's back. And she didn't come back at all again until Thursday night. Thursday night she came in the house and everything was normal. She wasn't scared of me. She wasn't acting weird. It's like, she's back. Friday morning when I went outside, she was the same, playing around me and chasing me and catching me. And it's like, so I don't know. Was she on heat? Did she find a male? Did she walk after a male? And yeah, but I was in a bit of a panic, because not the fact that she's gone, the fact that she can get killed somewhere on the road, or that freaked me out. I was scared that she just get run over on the road. I was scared she walked with a male far away and doesn't know how to get back or something. So yeah, I that was a little bit of a panic. Another thing that was a little upsetting to me this week was on our community WhatsApp group. Somebody said we must put in a petition at the municipality for tarring our road that links all the farms, or that goes in front of all our farms. And I don't like that. I just feel it will negatively affect the look of the nature. People will drive too fast on the road, and all the roadkill, the tortoises and the nocturnal animals. The bikers and cyclists come here especially because it's not a tar road, and it's the beauty of the nature that attracts them, unspoiled. Yesterday, that was Sunday, Nestor and Nikita, my two dogs, decided they going after a baboon. It's actually funny because I often chase the baboon, but the baboon is so not scared of the dogs and so chilled that often he just walks away, and here comes Nestor and he just walks behind the baboon. That is his chase. So it's actually funny, and it's just this one baboon, and he doesn't look aggressive towards the dogs or anything. Sometimes it takes like a little bit more of a jog, and Nestor kadoof, 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 kadoof behind him, but it's not like a fast chase or anything. So I don't panic. I called them back. I went, Nestor, Nikita, come. I called them back, but obviously it's excitement. It's like, how boring is life without some excitement? So let them have their fun. They often do that, and the baboon is not scared of them, and they don't worry. So, but then Nikita came back after a while, and Nestor didn't. He stayed away for more than an hour. And I got so into things I didn't quite realize, but Nestor is not back yet. And by the time I realized, I thought, oh, let me better go look for him. So I went and I heard lots of baboons. So the whole troop was around. And so I called and called and called and no Nestor. And eventually I decided to just go home, because often when I go home, then he found his way back and he's lying in the kitchen just casually just waiting for me to return. But then he wasn't, so I went the other way looking for him, and then by the time I come back, Nestor is back lying in the kitchen, and he's like panting, and he finished his whole water bowl. He was so tired and thirsty after coming back. So all sorts of things go through my mind when he does that. I think, what if he climbs up and fall down a cliff? And you always go through your mind the worst things possible. I don't know if I'm just weird, but yeah, I panic quickly. But then Sunday afternoon, I belong to this one Facebook group. I don't follow a lot of groups, but this one is a very like-minded group, and I learn a lot from them. So I really like to follow that group. And so the lady that actually started the group, she posts the most things on the group, and she has an Italian shepherd dog that goes and looks after the goats, but it's his goats. And she realized also that he wasn't coming home for the longest time ever. And so she checked on the GPS, and she saw that he was stationary for a long time, and they went to look for him, and then he was caught in a snare under the fence. She said she got worried. She was sure the baboons got to him. So I obviously replied to her, and I told her, I'm sorry about your dog, and they managed to got him out, thankfully, and he was unharmed. He couldn't walk, but her husband carried him to the bakkie, and the next morning he was fine. He was running and off with the goats again. But I replied, and I was telling her my story of the day, that I also had a bit of a panic with Nestor going after the baboons, and I also got scared the baboons attacked him or something. So yeah, so this person that replied and say, so why do you allow your dogs to chase the baboons? So I said nothing, It's not saying anything is an answer too, isn't it? But yeah, one thing I had this when I was working at the reserve already. We called them keyboard warriors. Those people that sit behind a desk and they don't know anything about a subject, but they have lots to say, so much to say, and they're there only to attack people. It's like, why this and why that, and you shouldn't this and you shouldn't that, and do this and do that, whatever. We call them keyboard warriors. So yeah, I had an incident with a keyboard warrior, but I was stupid. Sometimes when you reply to somebody, you think you're replying to only that one person, but you forget everybody can read your comment. So yeah. Anyway, I'm over it now, but I was quite upset about that yesterday. Another thing I want to talk to you about is being in nature conservation. I was always part of something bigger than just me. I'm hoping that my vlog channel can hopefully impact somebody else's life in a positive way. Another friend of mine said to me how beautiful Tariel is, and that you can't imagine that somebody can kill such a beautiful animal. So maybe I can show someone that predators have characters, personalities, and maybe they'll think twice before killing a caracal, a leopard, a cheetah, or brown hyenas. Hey, jy byt my skoenstukke. Ja. Jy byt my skoenstukke. If you're still here to listen to me till the end of this video, I just want to thank you so much for listening and allowed me to share with you what's going on in my heart and mind. I feel better now that I could talk to you and share it with you everything. Okay, I'm gonna say goodbye now so you can go on with your things.